Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Freeman Motorsports. Thanks for tuning in this Friday evening for the NASCAR Truck Series race at Daytona to kick off the 2024 season. We're going to be breaking down all the action for you guys all night, and hopefully we'll bring you the ARCA race afterwards. If you want to watch that too, I really appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and if you're listening in after the fact, after the race has happened, I appreciate it as well. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the broadcast, your thoughts on the race, and yeah, just go right ahead. Appreciate everybody watching right now. Let me see it in the chat. Who's your pick to win here tonight? You got 250 miles of action, 100 laps around this racetrack tonight. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Also, we just eclipsed 3,500 subscribers during the Busch Clash stream, so thanks to everybody that's subscribed. Appreciate it if we keep on going to the next milestone. Okay, so with that, we're going to break down the starting lineup for you guys tonight. The race is, the broadcast, the race is supposed to kind of start around 7:30. Don't have an exact green flag time for you, but yeah, the race is going to be starting in about 25 minutes or so. So that does give us some time to break down the hottest storylines going into tonight's feature event. You know, thankfully no rain has affected this week so far, but that's probably going to be a factor tomorrow. So we'll have to see how this all works out. That's why, if you didn't know already, the ARCA race, which is usually run on Saturday before the Xfinity Series race, will be run after the truck race tonight on FS2. So whether you're listening in to me or you're watching on TV, it'll be on FS2 if you're looking to catch some of that ARCA action later tonight. David, you're rooting for Ty Majeski, who is on pole for this event. Solid choice. I think Ty Majeski is going to be one of the most intriguing drivers this season because, honestly, now with some key contenders out of the series like Zane Smith, who's finally moved up, I think it's going to be very high expectations for him in that 98 crew. Obviously, they'll be competing with Corey Heim probably. I think they, at this moment in time, are two of the heavy hitter favorites for the championship. Ty Majeski is probably a top 5 championship favorite. Close to his teammate Ben Rhodes as well. Ginger says someone from Thor Sport. Scotty, how are you doing? Okay, yeah, but we'll break down your starting lineup. On the front row, you have Ty Majeski with Thor Sport getting the pole, and then to his outside, surprise, second position here from the 45 from Nice Motorsports. That's driven by Johnny Sauter. I believe this is the only race he's doing with Nice this year. He might do another handful, but the reason he's in the truck this weekend is because he has the past champion provisional, which guarantees them a spot in the field. Obviously, they did not even come close to needing that, as he's starting second. Anyways, that's why he's in that car. After this, it's a rotating cast of multiple drivers inside of that 45 truck, I believe. Multiple rotating cast of the drivers in that 45 truck after this week. And then on the second row, you have the 7 of Corey LaJoie, who I think is probably my favorite or one of my favorites for this race, considering how well he ran last year with his Spire truck. Obviously kind of got shuffled out short. The race got shortened last year, if you don't recall, due to rain. So obviously a lot of things didn't potentially play out like they could have. So Corey LaJoie will start in the second position. Then to his outside, another Nice Motorsports truck. That's the number 42 of Matt Mills. So solid qualifying there for both Nice trucks right there. Matt Mills, I think he's another intriguing storyline this year. He's full-time with Nice. That's a change-up for him. That's probably some of the better equipment he's been in. He was in that KBM 51 truck for a handful of starts last season and performed pretty strongly. I think Matt Mills could be a sleeper for a playoff spot this season. Then on row number 3, you got the 18 of Tyler Ankrum and the number 2 of Nick Sanchez, which Nick Sanchez, if I pan my camera here just a bit, we got the Sanchez bumper up in the background. So you know who one of the drivers I'm rooting for tonight is. And then beyond that, in row number 4, you got the 43 of Daniel Dye, who I honestly think really didn't show much of a spark in his rookie season, other than the fact that he avoided quite a few crashes. I expected a lot more from Daniel Dye in the 43 last year. We'll see what he can do this year. New team, same number. I think high expectations for Daniel Dye for sure. Then to his outside is the number 15 of Tanner Gray. Once again, another year for the Gray brothers in the Truck Series. They've shown glimpses of speed, but really nothing, beyond a top 10, occasional top 5 pace. They really do need to take a step forward for their development to really be continued in the Truck Series pipeline. Okay, beyond that, in row number 5, we got the 41 of Bailey Curry, who I think Bailey, honestly, this is going to be his biggest opportunity in that 41 truck. I believe they're full-time this year. So, Bailey, I think playoffs minimum potentially. If he get a win or two in that 41, that would be huge for his career and a potential resurgence. And then a new Truck Series team joins the grid this year. That's the 46 of, I believe, Faction 46 is the team name. And that is going to be driven by Thad Moffitt. This is essentially an extension of Petty Motorsports. Thad Moffitt, I believe, is the great nephew or something like that of Richard Petty. So we'll see what Thad can do. And then in row number 6, obviously everybody knows the Menards 88 driven by Matt Craftsman once again this season. And then to his outside, the other Gray brother, the 17 of Taylor Gray. On row number 7, Tony Breidinger, who's doing double duty tonight. She's going to do the truck race and then the ARCA race after that. This is her 4th Truck Series start and her first plate start in the Truck Series. I think she honestly impressed in qualifying. We'll see what she can do in the race. Has a fast truck for sure. To her outside is the 97 of Cody Robaugh. Row 8, we have the number 5 of Dean Thompson, and the 13, the ThorSport truck, now driven by Jake Garcia, who is a new driver over there in the ThorSport camp. I think he's a young talent to keep your eye on if you're a fan. Beyond that, in row number 9, number 52, the man from up north, Stuart Friesen. Once again, that team, they kind of fell off in the playoffs, but I think they could be a sleeper championship pick if they just get everything to fall the right way at the right time. They've shown they have race-winning pace on the mile halves, the short tracks, the big tracks through over the past few years. If they can just put it all together, they might be a championship threat. Beyond that, to his outside is the 77 of Chase Purdy, the second Spire truck in this field. In row number 10, the number 32 of Brett Holmes and the 71 of Rajah Caruth. This is one of the more recently announced deals. Rajah with 10 races in one of those Spire trucks. I think he's trying to potentially put a full season together. Still just depending on sponsorship. We'll see how it all works out. Thanks to everybody watching in the chat right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Ryan Dyer, how are you doing? I wasn't a fan of the constant go to the die cam every yellow. Yeah. Ginger Williamson, hi Freeman. Is the Fantasy League open because my dad can't get in? Maybe he needs to make an account or something like that. The Fantasy League should be open as long as you take that link in the chat. That's right, guys. If you want to join the Fantasy League, I think it would be great if you joined. We're going to try and do this season. That's potentially something new if we get enough people to join. Oh, I didn't even mean to open that on the screen. But yeah, join. Actually, hold on. Let's do some promo real quick. Go to site. There you go. You can join our league right here. Overall standings right now, just me and Colt in the Fantasy League. But appreciate it if you join. Click that link in the chat. And I'll keep you guys updated on here and in my videos throughout the week on how the standings look throughout this season. So, yeah, that's just an open invitation right there. So now that's the top 20 cars in the field, the first 10 rows. Now, taking over that 38, that coveted seat from Zane Smith, who was one of the most dominant trucks in the Truck Series the last 2 years. Now he's moving up to the Cup Series in the number 71 with that joint operation between Spire and Trackhouse. The number 38 is now driven by Lane Riggs, who really did impress in a handful of his starts alongside Stuart Friesen in that 62 truck. We'll see how that carries over into the 38 team now. Next to him is the 9 of Grant Infinger, who's having to take a step back in equipment after GMS closing. I honestly hope the best for Grant. I think, honestly, if they could contend for top 10s on a weekly basis, that'd be really impressive from that CR7 team. In row number 12, the 91 of Jack Wood, and your defending Truck Series champion, the 99 of Ben Rhodes. In row 13, we got the 19 of Christian Eckes, the 11 of Corey Heim, who obviously dominated the season last year, and then him and Carson Hocevar got together infamously at Phoenix last year, costing both of them the championship. In row number 14, 2 drivers in new places, 2 journeymen at that. The number 75 of Henderson Motorsports will now be driven by Stephen Parsons on a part-time basis this year. And then the 25 with Rackley Ward. They parted ways with Matt DiBenedetto after their first round of the playoffs last year, and now it's going to be Ty Dillon full-time in that truck. I think it's, honestly, if Ty Dillon doesn't make the playoffs, that's just going to look really bad. Then in row number 10, or not row number 10, row number 15, we have one of the smaller operations in this field, the number 28 of FDNY Racing, driven by Brian Duzat. And then to his outside, another small driver, a small operation that almost won at Daytona 2 years ago, the 04 of Corey Roper. Then a new team to the grid, the number 76 Freedom Motorsports, driven by Spencer Boyd. That is a driver-owner operation there. I believe they're planning to be full-time this year. That's a great addition to the series. And then after that, to their outside is the O2, driven by Mason Massey. We're getting towards the end of the field here, and in row number 17, we have the 56, driven by Timmy Hill, and then to his outside, the 22 for RBR, driven by Jason White, and then we got an all RBR final row, the 33 of Lawless Allen, and the 27 of Keith McGee. That is your starting lineup for this year's Fresh from Florida 250 at Daytona to kick off the NASCAR Truck Series season. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. Yes, Ginger Timmy Hill made it in. Yes, we are lonely, Ginger. That's why, Ginger. Also, I'm going to throw a poll up in the chat. Who do y'all think is going to win this Truck Series race later tonight? This mic is like, here we go. Can we move it? There we go, like that, ideally. Thanks, everybody, tuning in. Okay, new poll. Who's going to win tonight? Who wins at Daytona? Say, Say Thor Sport Truck, Tricon Truck, What other big teams are there in the Truck Series? Oh, I'll say Nice. That's one team I'm forgetting about. Nice. Truck. Underdog. There we go. Pull up in the chat. Let me know who your thoughts are, or your thoughts are. Just on to like this, I'm going to help my neighbor out. Oh, thanks, Vaughn. Thanks for the like. Yeah, hey, if you're watching right now and haven't liked, appreciate it if you do. Tells YouTube that we're doing a good job. Up to, I believe, 10 likes right now. Still, green flag is, I believe, about 10-15 minutes away. At least that's what I thought. Hold on. Let me see if I could find... Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, if you did not know, we got the Truck Series tonight, as well as the ARCA race later in the evening at 10:30 on FS2. We might stream that one. It kind of depends on how this one goes and how tired I'm feeling. All that jazz. Ryan Dyer. Well, I just wanted to pop in and say hi. I'm streaming this too. Well, appreciate it, Ryan. Hope your stream goes well tonight. Yeah, so once again, break down some names and new places this year. Gotta check the note sheet. Already mentioned earlier, Rajah Caruth in the 71 for Spire Motorsports. Spire, it's going to be interesting if they can take that big step forward, as obviously they've purchased KBM, and I think that's going to really elevate their program. That's really no surprise. I don't think anybody's really predicting against that. But, you know, is Rajah... He was fast last year, especially compared to some of his teammates, but also not the fastest car out of the GMS camp. I mean, you had Grant Enfinger competing for a championship, and then Rajah didn't even make the playoffs, and then Daniel Dyes, the other teammate, was just nowhere near the playoff picture at all, or even really showing much pace on a weekly basis. So I think Rajah definitely has a high standard this year. You know, he obviously gets a lot of headlines. So, you know, he had that little mini documentary made about him in the offseason. So definitely high expectations for Rajah Caruth. And I hope he meets them. He's definitely excuse me. He's definitely shown pace at times, and things just haven't worked down his way. I remember specifically at Nashville in the Truck Series last year, he was flying, and then just at the end of stage one, some sort of mechanical problem took them out of the lead. And, you know, it basically just shows me that Rajah has the pace to win. You know, it's just about putting it together and with the right team. And, you know, I think Spire Motorsports could definitely be that team for him. What do I call an angry carrot? Okay. What? 303 Colorado, waiting on my Legends race. Are you like, oh yeah, are you iRacing right now, 303 Colorado? Rookie Legends, that's where it's at. I've been grinding it out. I'm like, what? It's honestly, it's been so much fun. I'd recommend getting iRacing to anybody out there. It is a little expensive, but totally worth it. A steamed vegetable. Ginger, that was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty rough. You could do better. You know that. Okay. Some votes in the chat. Yeah, we see underdog win for the lead right now on who's gonna win. Yeah. Anyways, another team. Another driver in new places. Ty Dillon in the 25 for Rackley War. Matt DiBenedetto, frankly, a really doubted driver when he took that seat with Rackley War. Well, in his first season with them, he gets them a win. And in the second season, they don't get a win, but they qualify into the playoffs, which is honestly great things to see from a team that has just entered the Truck Series full-time, I believe, with Matt DiBenedetto. Maybe a year before they're also full-time or part-time. So, the expectations are certainly going to be on Ty Dillon. He definitely has the money to, fund that team fully. So, we'll see how that all works out for them. If they don't make the playoffs, or if they're not in the playoff cut line picture, it's going to look really bad for Ty Dillon, especially after how much he's been kicked around in the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series and wherever, honestly, he's been the last 4 or 5 years now, it seems. Another driver, young talent, Jake Garcia. He ran with McNally. He was in one of the McNally trucks last year in the 35, and he showed some real pace as the season went on. He's continuing to be somewhat of a top 10, even a top 5 threat on occasion throughout some of those playoff races. So I think, definitely a slight jump up in equipment as he goes to ThorSport now, and to probably jump in expectations. But still, to me at least, he kind of flew under the radar somewhat last season. A lot of the headlines were thrown on Rajah Caruth, thrown on Daniel Dye in terms of the rookie drivers. So I think Jake Garcia definitely has, an opportunity to succeed here big time if he seizes this moment. And honestly, I'm cheering for him right now. And then an older driver that's been around the series quite some time, the 42 of Matt Mills, that was honestly known, for my opinion, at least how I knew him, for occasionally doing a couple of super speedway races, but just buying a ride for a few races a year with that JF Electric sponsorship. But now he's going to be full-time in the 42 for Nice Motorsports. And I think he proved a lot of doubters wrong when he had a few of those KBM rides last year. He impressed. He was in the top 10, ran in the top 5, qualified in the top 5, I believe, in both of them. And he just showed an outright pace, the pace you'd expect out of people that drove that 51 truck. So I think that if this works out for him, this is just a step in the right direction. I think we've seen multiple drivers now kind of go back down to Nice and kind of have their careers revitalized there. I mean, think some of the talent that's come out of there. Ross Chastain, Carson Osavar, Bailey Curry has honestly, I think, somewhat revamped his career going down to Nice. I think, Matt Mills could be the next driver in that lineup to do the same thing. I mean, you also look at Brett Moffitt. I mean, obviously things have not worked out for him for other reasons. A lot of drivers have had success there and moved on to also do other good things, or just recognized as fast drivers behind the wheel. What does a NASCAR driver eat before a race? I don't know. Let me know. Okay, looks like the pace laps are going to be getting started here pretty soon. Hey, up to 3,514 subscribers. I appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks to everybody watching. So let me know in the chat before the green flag drops who your pick is to win. I'm going to give you guys my top 3, my favorites. And then I'll tell you who my mind's telling me is going to win. I'll tell you who my heart's going to tell me, or who my heart is telling me is going to win. And then I'll tell you who my underdog pick is for this truck race here at Daytona. Okay, so my smart pick here for Daytona. Okay, this is kind of a lame duck win here. Kind of a lame duck win. Not the most exciting way to kick off this season. But I'm going to go with Corey Heim to get the win. The reasoning behind that, he's done it before in the Truck Series. Or not in the Truck Series. He's done it before in the Truck Series at plate tracks. He did it at Talladega. He's just done it on all the tracks in the Truck Series. But also, even in ARCA, he's had success on the plate tracks. So I think that could honestly be something going for him. Corey Heim is kind of my smart pick here tonight. Okay, hold on one second. Yeah, and then my heart pick for tonight is Corey LaJoie. I have a few other ones, and Corey LaJoie, you could argue, is also a smart pick because he's in one of those Spire trucks. He's definitely, he's got the truck underneath him to, contend for the win like he did last year. But, it'd be awesome to see Corey LaJoie break through for a win. I love the storylines coming out of that. The momentum you would have also going into the Daytona 500 this Sunday, where he's still pursuing his first ever Cup Series win. It'd be a great storyline for Corey LaJoie. And then my underdog win. Who would ever have seen this coming? This is not would have thought this would happen in a million years. Well, my surprise pick for tonight is Grant Enfinger in the 9 truck. Now you might think to yourself, Grant Enfinger's, yes, he's an accomplished driver, but that CR7 team is such a small team. I mean, they're full-time, but they, I think, had 2 top 10s all last season. And even when Grant Enfinger was in the truck, they were a top 10 contender once or twice a month. So nowhere near a team that really belongs at the front of the pack anywhere else besides a super speedway. So I think that Grant Enfinger is my underdog pick in that CR7 Motorsports. Then really any of those small teams, like Corey Roper in the 04, FDNY Racing in the 28 truck, an RBR truck to have a top 5 run, anything like that, that'd be amazing to see for one of those programs. It's just, honestly, it's just the underdogs there then, You want them to collect one of those big paychecks, just have the thrill of being out front at Daytona. And that's why I love watching the trucks. That's why I love watching ARCA, especially at Daytona, because, it's like the local Joes, the guys that compete at your local short track, have the opportunity to go out and race at Daytona for, a somewhat reasonable sum of money. You can, frankly, buy a ride for the ARCA race for about $25,000, if not even a little less than that if you get lucky, outside of, crash fees if you total your car. But $25,000 might sound like a lot of money to you, but to run trucks, Xfinity, anything like that, you're looking closer to $40,000, $50,000, which is double that cost, and just you starting to get into, that's big chunks of change now. So, ARCA, it's just cool to see these underdogs have a chance to go out there and put together an opportunity to compete for a win at one of the greatest tracks in the entire world. Also, the command to fire engines has been given. The season is underway. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Nervous Ned? Ben from last to first, that's what you're calling? Let's see if you can do it. Nothing, they fast. Sorry, Ginger, I also just saw your joke. That one is okay. It's a little better. I'll give you that. It's a little better. Hey, 3,515 subscribers. Thanks to whoever just subscribed. Hey, if we can get up to 35, we'll say 35-25 tonight. That'd be cool. 35-25. Also, if you want to join our NASCAR Fantasy League and compete throughout this season, try and be our NASCAR Fantasy League champion, click that link pinned at the top of the chat and enter into this league. Right now, I think we've only got 2 people entered since the start of the stream. You know what? That's okay. But more people. Let's see if we can get some more members in here. Oh wait, I think we've got a third one. We got McBean in here. Okay. We got 3 contenders now. So basically, yeah, you just pick the top 5 drivers who you think are going to do well on a weekly basis, but you can only use each driver 10 times throughout the season. Hey, Kevin, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. There's 3 in there. I know, Ginger. We got 3. Okay. Oops. Yeah, if you want to see it, there we go. I got to refresh this page. Yeah, if you want to join the Fantasy League, you can get in there. We got 3 people in there right now. The limit's 100. But, yeah, appreciate it if you join the Fantasy League. Fun way to interact with you guys across the season. All right, so the command to start engines has been given. The drivers have rolled off the pit road. We're going to be seeing the green flag here shortly. Okay, 100 laps is the distance here tonight. Now, last year's race was rained short, so even though rain is quite the threat this weekend, it is not a threat tonight. We're going to get all 100 laps in, and I cannot wait. Last year, it was Zane Smith winning was honestly so frustrating. I mean, anytime you see a rain-delayed race, it's frustrating. But Zane Smith, after all the battling that had been going on at the front of the field, it was just, you had drivers like Corey LaJoie, Chase Elliott, that had been mixing it up. And then Zane Smith just out front at the right time. That caution flag comes out, the rain comes, and it's over. Thinking about taking a risk and picking Haley and Hocevar. I'm also probably going to pick not either one of those drivers personally, but definitely a few underdogs are going to be in my fantasy lineup this weekend. Try and save some uses. I think the only, elite level driver I'd put in is Denny Hamlin just because of his consistency at Daytona. But I just think, it's an opportunity to save some uses on some of these, lesser-known drivers. I thought about putting David Reagan in. I mean, he's always, even when he was in those Rick Ware cars at Daytona, he was constantly a top 10, top 15 threat. But I'm afraid he's going to crash now that he's in, one of the, quote, a top-tier ride. He's going to be trying to ride at the front and just be more likely to get involved in something. Looking at the chat. 20 votes in the poll. Most of you guys are hoping for an underdog win, but I see a few votes for Thorsport, a few for Tricon, and a few for Nice. All right, guys, so Stage 1 and Stage 2, both 20 laps a pop, so pretty short stages here in the opening 2. The final stage, 60 laps, so that does open the door to potentially seeing green flag pit stops, pit windows about 30 to 35 laps, so you could split that final stage in half. Now, I don't think we've seen green flag pit stops in the Truck Series here at Daytona for quite a few years, but I think that could definitely spice things up, especially considering a lot of these teams don't have, the full-time crew members or the top-level crew members, and these guys don't make a lot of green flag pit stops in general in the Truck Series, and just the amount of, effort it takes to time up the braking coming off the banking off of turn number 4 without causing an incident. So, green flag pit stops would definitely throw a wrench in things. If you guys can't tell, I kind of secretly want there to be green flag pit stops in that final stage. Yeah, we'll go through your starting lineup one more time. Here we go. Ty Majeski on the front row with Johnny Sauter to his outside. Row number 2, Corey LaJoie and Matt Mills in the 42 truck. In row number 3, the 18 of Tyler Ankrum and the number 2 of Nick Sanchez. On row number 4, Daniel Dye and Tanner Ray. Row 5, we have Bailey Curry and Thad Moffitt in the 46 truck. That team's first ever start. We'll see what they can do. The 88 of Matt Crafton and number 17 of Taylor Gray make up row number 6. And row number 7, we have Tony Breidinger doing double duty in the number 1 Tricon truck tonight, as well as in the number 25 for Venturini Motorsports in the ARCA race later. Then the 97 of Cody Robot are her outside. And row number 8, the number 5 of Dean Thompson and the number 13 of Jake Garcia. In row 14, we have row 14. In row 7, we have Stuart Friesen and Chase Purdy. In row, I blundered that one, I'm not even going to lie. In row 9, we have Brett Holmes. No, in row 9, we have Stuart Friesen and Chase Purdy. In row 10, Brett Holmes and Rajah Ruth. Row 11, Lane Riggs and Grant Infinger. Row 12, the number 91 of Jack Wood and the number 99, defending Truck Series champion Ben Rhodes. In row number 13, Christian Eckes and the number 11 of Corey Heim. Row 14, the 75, driven by Steven Parsons, and the 25, driven by Ty Dillon. Row 15, the number 28 of Brian Duzat and the 04 of Corey Roper rounds out your top 30. Another new team making their first start tonight, the number 76 of Freeman Motorsports. Not Freeman Motorsports. Freedom, not Free Man, Freedom Motorsports, driven by Spencer Boyd, and then the 02 of Mason Massey. In row 17, we have the 56 of Timmy Hill and the number 22 of Jason White, and then rounding out your field, the number 33 of Lawless Allen and the 27 of Keith McGee. Hey, we're up to 3,517 subscribers. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody watching out there. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right. So they're going to come down and check pit road speed here one time before we get the green flag. Comment who you think is going to win before we get the green flag. Lock in that pick, and let's see if you're right. Around 100 laps around Daytona. All right. Looking at the chat. There's 3 in there. Oh, yes. I'm going to tell you a secret. Scroll down and see who's better at bet than others. Oh, no, I saw that, Ginger. We have 40 people in here right now. Appreciate it. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe. We might stream the ARCA race later tonight. Stay tuned. And they're getting the race ready to launch here. Drivers back out onto the banking, lining up double file. All right. Here they come off of turn number 4. Not turn number 4, turn number 2. Lights are out on the pace truck. That means green next time by. Vicky, you're going Johnny Sauter. I like the pick. I think this is going to be his only race of the season in that 45 truck, at least planned for right now. They just have him in there because he has the past champions provisional, which essentially means if there's more than 38 or actually 36 trucks that show up to the race, which means somebody's going to go home, he is guaranteed a spot in the race because he's a previous champion of the sport, unless another previous champion qualifies higher than him and needs the provisional. So the 45 truck did that just to make sure they would not miss the race. And he's got his teammate, though, the 42 of Matt Mills, pushing him from behind on the outside, so that's also going for him. We'll see what they can do. He's got Ty Majeski to his inside, and Ty Majeski is Corey LaJoy and Tyler Rankrum behind him. And here we go. The green flag is in the air. 100 laps to go, 250 miles in the Fresh from Florida 250 at Daytona. And the pace truck will pull off. And as the field enters the Geico restart zone for the first time this season, the green flag is back in the air for the NASCAR Truck Series at Daytona, and the season is off. And already Johnny Sauter spinning the tires, and Ty Majeski is away by about 1 truck length as they go down into turn number 1. Now that outside line starting to get formed up, though, as we go into turn 1. Matt Mills delivering a slight push to the back of Johnny Sauter, which will push him out ahead by about half a bumper ahead of the 98. Otherwise, they're staying pretty clean. Still just staying double file throughout your top 20. And now somebody's going to poke it out 3 wide for the back in the pack as they go down the back straight away for the first time tonight. And they are stacked up nose to tail. The 45 with the slight advantage into turn number 3. Your top 6 rows staying locked together side by side. Then further back, they're a little spread out. Some 3-wide action outside of your top 20. And Johnny Sauter is going to lead the first lap of this Truck Series season by about 1 truck length ahead of Ty Majeski, who's on the inside. The first drivers trying to make that third lane work right now are Grant Infinger and the 25 of Ty Dillon. That inside line gets the momentum through turns 1 and 2. Ty Majeski out front by about 2 truck lengths. He's going to get a big push here from Corey LaJoy once they get back together. Ooh, already the 45 a little swirly there into turn 1. These guys are pushing hard right now. Remember, this first stage is only 20 laps, so really quick. Not a lot. There's not time to get into that single file, slow-paced racing here when the stages are only 20 laps. You don't want to give up that track position because there's really not that much time to get back into a position where you can pick up some valuable stage points. Now, also, though, Johnny Sauter not running full-time. Stage points to him, they could honestly mean less. I have a feeling if Sauter gets shuffled out of the top 5 positions, he might just bail out of this lead draft to try and save his truck for later on in the race. He's just thinking about the win here tonight. Sauter aggressively side drafted the 98 there down the back straightaway for a moment. Ooh, and Thad Moffitt goes up the racetrack. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. It looks like, to me, if I had to guess, he just bailed out of the draft. And now, that third lane, though, is going to get crushed in by him. That's going to kill any momentum they had going. Yeah, that's not what Ben Rhodes wanted to see. That just shoved him back to the rear of this lead draft. Oh, Matt Mills. Oh, my goodness. I didn't even realize. He must have really gotten into the back of his teammate there, pushing him at one point. That front nose is totally caved in. That is a terrible start to his race. The aerodynamics have got to be terrible on the nose of that 42 truck right now. Essentially, it's not just knocked in, but it's also knocked in underneath the hood, if that makes sense. So there's a slight hole where the air can just go straight into the engine, and that's just acting like a parachute. And that outside line is just completely falling apart. The top, top 10 cars on the inside line have broken clear and are straight to the lead now. And now he's going to get put in the sucker hole. Yeah, he is dropping to this rear of this lead draft. Now he is just looking forward to that stage break to see if they can repair that damage and get him back out and keep a competitive truck in this race for Nice Motorsports. Well, that just took away the double wide action we had at the front of the field. Now your top 12, all single file, actually make that your top 13. And then a little bit of double file further back. 5 laps in. We'll be working lap number 6 this time after they cross the stripe. Already just 15 to go in stage number 1. Actually 14 to go now. So it's still Sauter out front, though. He was able to tuck down in front of Majeski and take over that inside line. And then behind Majeski, it's LaJoy, Ankrum, Dye, Curry, Taylor Gray, Brett Holmes, and then Tony Breidinger in 9th is the last person that is single file on the inside line. Oh, and then we got trucks together on the backstretch. We got a crash. We got spinners. Stuart Friesen, Taylor Gray, Sanchez, a few others around. They're trying to save it. I don't see too much severe damage for anybody. Oh, and then somebody eats it. That's the 46, and their day is definitely done. The 71, Cruz is going to get some damage there. And that was some aggressive pushing. I saw that neon yellow car of Matt Crafton get a little damage there. I think the 33 got some as well. Somebody's going through the grass, but the 46, they are killed on the right front. You hate to see your first race of the night already be over on lap number 6. There we go, guys. Already after a rough start for these fellas. Thanks, everybody watching right now. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Up to 3,518 subscribers. I appreciate it. And Moffitt is out in 33 of Lawless. Allen's got a decent amount of damage on the right front of his truck. And it looked like they were almost going to make it through there. Then the 46, I don't really know if that's, Archer brakes is a term for when drivers just don't brake and try to go full send through the crash. I don't know if that was necessarily that or, he had almost cleared the wreckage. And then the final truck, the spinning 25, just closed in on him. He had nowhere to go. The 13 of Jake Garcia with a good amount of damage on both ends of that truck. He might be done. Ty Dillon's climbing out of the truck. Yeah, probably about 10 trucks involved. I'd say about 5 potentially with heavy damage. Another 5 more that definitely got at least a little bit of damage. The 27's got the right rear quarter panel knocked up. The 33, we'll see how much damage that ends up being. This all kind of starts, we haven't seen a replay yet, but I know Matt Craftsman was involved. It kind of looks like a push gone wrong. As most of these wrecks are. Either a push gone wrong or somebody tried to shove it up the middle, and it was just not there. Stuart Friesen, they're going to tape up the left front of that truck. Yeah, he was sideways in front of the whole field. He's lucky that he did not get more damage. So now we're finally going to see the replay. You had the 2 yellow trucks side by side, the 38 and the 88. Oh, and the 15 got really sideways, and then the 19 with the push off to get into the back of the 88 that he could not handle. So the 19 with the push into the 88 that sends him around, that gets into the side. I think the 52 that spins him and then spins the 15. And then, when you got guys spinning on the back straightaway, there's just nowhere to go. A bunch of people going through the grass. Yeah, so the 88 comes down into the 38. That hooks the 15. That hooks the 52. Just a chain reaction. And then just people trying to avoid get together. The 33 and the 13 door bang. The 2's going through the grass. Everybody's spinning. The 25 gets spun. And then the 46 just almost makes it through. And then 2 cars come careening together. And there's just the hole he was going to shoot for closed. And then he crashed into the 25 and 33. 71 also got some damage in that. $25. Okay, the 33 was out of control. Okay, the 46 just wrong place, wrong time. I guess, he could have braked a little more, but that was just 2 cars just came together and just basically sandwiched him. I think the 71 also actually might have just made it out there with no damage. I thought the 25 actually snagged him, but now that I look at it again, I think he was able to make it through cleanly. They're going to show us the onboard of Ben Rhodes, who's just behind this. And it's just spinning everywhere in front of him, and he's just able to... He kind of just held his line and just let them all spin to the inside. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. Hey Marcus, how are you doing? And they're just crashing big time on the back straightaway there. Thanks to everyone watching. I'm just looking around online, see how we're doing, Okay. There we go. Okay. So the new running order after that crash... Now I'm going to scroll down the leaderboard here, but we had only 6 laps completed at the time. Now we're working lap number 8. Johnny Sauter's still out front. I think he's led every lap so far. Ty Majeski in second. LaJoy third. Ankrum fourth. Daniel Dye Bailey Curry, Taylor Gray, Brett Holmes, Tony Breidinger, and Dean Thompson, your top 10. And those are the only people ahead of that wreck that made it through cleanly. Then Matt Crafton, 11th. Eckes Roper up from, I believe, 30th to 13th already. Jack Wood, Ben Rhodes, your top 15. Heim, Robaugh, Duzat, Purdy, Parsons, your top 20. Then Mason Massey, Timmy Hill, Jason White, Spencer Boyd. And I think that's just about it of the people that avoided the wreck. Then you have Grant Enfinger, Nick Sanchez, Lawless Allen, Lane Riggs, Matt Mills, Stuart Friesen, Rajah Caruth. And then the drivers that I think are already done for sure, Thad Moffitt, Ty Dillon are done for sure. I think Jake Garcia might be as well based off the data on the telemetry charts. Tanner Gray already a lap down, as well as Keith McGee a lap down. All right, but there's your update, ladies and gents. So that accident involved about 12 trucks on the back straightaway after a push gone wrong from the 19 into the back of Matt Crafton that caused him to overcorrect down into the 38 of Lane Riggs, who then hooked the 2 trucks in front of him, sending Stuart Friesen sideways in front of the whole field. And everybody avoided Stuart, but they ended up crashing themselves and avoiding Stuart. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, pits are open. Corey LaJoy comes down, as well as the 99 of Ben Rhodes. So they're saying strategy here. Actually, if you pit right now, you are able to make it to the end of stage 2 without having to stop again. So kind of a smart play here. You pick up some stage points in stage 2 maybe if you want to. And also just cycle to the front at the end of stage 1 when everybody that pitted there in stage 1 or did not pit here in stage 1 on this last caution has to pit then. Also, I'll do it again. If you guys want to join the NASCAR Fantasy League, click the link in the chat. Ty Majeski and that gold and black Road Ranger scheme, I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty sharp. Started on the pole, currently in second after Johnny Sauter was able to just sneak out ahead of him. Still doing some damage repair on the front of that 38, right front of the 38 of Lane Riggs. Just putting some more bear bond on it. Should be good to go. Okay. Try and see a further update. I'll let you know if anybody else, ends up not making minimum speed or whatever and ends up DNFing as well. It looks like Moffitt, Ty Dillon, Jake Garcia are the only ones certainly DNF'd at this point. I think Lawless Allen, Stuart Friesen, Tanner Gray, Keith McGee are all one lap down from this. And a few more might join them. Okay, so they're going to cut to commercial, but we're going to run one more lap, or two more laps or so of under caution, and then we'll get the green flag here. So that'll leave us with about 7 or so laps to go and another quick shootout to end stage number 1 of the NASCAR Truck Series season. Looking at the poll in the chat, we got ThorSport Trucks, Tricon Truck, Nice, or an underdog win on who do you want to win tonight. Right now, 40% are going for the underdog win. Hey, that last crash did take out, or at least damage a few top rides. So if you want to see that underdog, that's helping your favor, helping your chances. All right, guys. Also, FYI, probably not going to do the hold on one second. Probably not going to do the ARCA race later tonight. We'll see. It depends. Maybe if we get a strong, push for it, then we'll do the ARCA race, but I'll keep you updated. What are your guys' picks for the Sunday's race, the Daytona 500? Obviously, I'm a Kyle Larson fan. I feel like Daytona is like the one exception where it's like you gotta root for your favorite driver. I mean, it's the Super Bowl, you know. You gotta, forget the facts, go with the biases, root for your favorite driver. Winning a Daytona 500 is like nothing else on a resume. Hey, thanks to everybody who subscribed tonight. Already up about 5 subscribers since the green flag dropped on this stream. Goal for tonight is 3525 in terms of subscribers. Appreciate it if you guys help make that happen. We'll be live for the Xfinity Series race, potentially, because I don't think it's going to be tomorrow with the amount of rain forecasted. And depending on when it is Monday, we'll stream it. Hopefully, we'll be live for the Daytona 500. Assuming that it's on Sunday and not rained out to Monday. I think the forecast is looking pretty 50-50 for Sunday. I've heard a lot of reports that it's going to rain in the morning and clear up like in mid-afternoon. So maybe we'll have a Sunday night race for the Daytona 500. I think that'd be cool. Joseph, Corey LaJoy. I don't know if that's your pick for tonight or for Sunday or for both. But either way, that would be awesome to see happen, especially on Sunday. He's got that Chili's scheme going on, and they've been doing a lot of cool promotions with that. I love to see a sponsor rewarded for, them kind of putting in the extra step, if you will. They're up to 3,519. Thank you very much. Oh, and Ty Dillon, interviewing him. $25. Hold on. Yeah, Ty Dillon, I will say that's not really on him. He kind of got taken out by, somebody else. But again, that's just an accident that tends to occur on these type of tracks. 8 to go with the green flag back out. Johnny Sauter on the outside. On the inside, the 98 of Ty Majeski replay, the initial start of the race. Pushing Sauter is the 41, his teammate of Bailey Curry. On the inside, it's Tyler Ankrum pushing the 98. Already, things a lot more calm than last time around. Your top 10 are still double file, but further back, already split up. Oh, and Corey Roper's going to jump to the outside of the 19. Now that's 3 wide for the 10th position. And he's not going to have any help, and so he's going to drop back. Out of turn number 4, Johnny Sauter's going to have the run into the tri-oval. And Sauter's going to lead that lap of the line. Yeah, already this lead draft, you can tell it has seriously thinned out in number. Only about 20 or so cars in the lead draft. Or I should say trucks. Okay, also looking at the scoring charts. Yeah, so just Jake Garcia, Ty Dillon, and Thad Moffitt ending their days in that most recent crash. Corey has his dad, Randy, there. Okay, Joseph. Oh, my gosh. And Daniel Dye up the track a little bit there on a turn 4 with Curry getting a little swirly. We can't wreck it this early, guys. We're on lap number 14, number 15 now of the season. Yeah, they are really dancing right now. Ty Dillon said he's never seen it so chaotic that early. And, I mean, yeah, everybody is just dancing around the track right now. Yeah, this is Daniel Dicam, honestly. This is intense right now at the front of the field. It looks like Sauter might finally have fallen back. I think Majeski could slide up in front of him if he wanted to. Is he going to do it here off of 4, though? He's not. He's going to stay low. .45 getting shoved into turn 1 by his teammate Bailey Curry. Now the lead draft has grown in number once again. The top 23 trucks just about still in this lead draft. Then a few more with damage, or a few more that are just trying to hang around till the end, leaving this lead pack. Ooh, man, Rhodes made a little bit of an interesting move there, and as soon as he made that move, a bunch of guys towards the rear of the field. Caution! Oh, boy, 33. Lawless Allen with a lot of damage. I thought I saw some waving flags, and there we go. I didn't see any crash at the front, but he already had damage from earlier on, but maybe a flat tire. I mean, the whole front bumper's gone on that truck now. Also, the 38 was back down pit road. It's Lane Riggs. I'm kind of surprised by that. I mean, it doesn't look like on the surface they have that much damage, but let's see. Oh. Right rear tire on the 33, and then I think the grass. Yep. Oh, boy. Then the grass tore off the rest of that front bumper. And he was able to keep it down on the wall at least, so the truck still lives to fight another day, but probably won't be today. And the set 27 also Keith McGee, a teammate to the 33. His damage not too severe. I mean, well, severe, but just the right rear quarter panel flapping around in the wind, sparking up a lot. They're just going to have to tape that up better. Now, the 33, I think that front splitter might be mandatory. I mean, if not, it is Daytona and it is early on, so if you can get him to run at minimum speed out there, it's probably worth it because some people might crash out and just collect some points and collect that slightly bigger paycheck. And the 38 is going behind the wall. He is done. So Lane Riggs is now the 4th driver out of this race, joining Jake Garcia, Ty Dillon, and Thad Moffitt. And he probably will be joined by Lawless Allen here pretty shortly. Also, I believe Tanner Gray is the free pass from this one. It's 29 trucks on the lead lap. So that's the defending winning truck, not the winner, but the 38 truck went to victory lane a year ago here, and he is already done before stage 1's even over. Hey, my picks. LaJoy. Enfinger. Still in it. And then as well as Corey Heim. So all my picks still in the mix here. So the 97 robot. Okay, looks like they're toying with the right rear. Looks like they're hoping to get a lap in here before the end of the stage. I don't know if that's possible. Man, having 2 super speedways, Atlanta's not a super speedway but a plate track, to start the season, that is crazy on NASCAR's part. I mean, as a fan, it's cool, but as a driver, I would be so scared. Because, there's some role of luck at these super speedways for the drivers, and your season can just be off to one heck of a rough start if you get bad luck 2 weeks in a row, and you've not junked 2 race cars in 2 weeks. All right. So, it's still Sauter out front. Then it's Majeski, Curry, Ankrum, Gray, your top 5. Thompson, Holmes, Eckes, Wood, and Dye, your top 10. Also, I have a feeling a lot of people might pit here. Okay, actually, it looks like now they're just going to run this stage out. Oh, we're going green. We're going green next time by. I take it back. I spoke too soon. We're going to have a 1-lap dash. But yeah, Sauter, Majeski, Curry, Ankrum, Gray, Thompson, Holmes, Eckes, Wood, and Brightinger, top 10. Then Heim, Rhodes, LaJoy, Infinger, Purdy, Crafton, Duzat, Mills, White, and Dye, your top 20. I have a feeling a lot of your not full-timers might bail from the draft here just because you don't want to get taken out in a wreck racing for points that don't matter to you. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay. How I think this restart's going to go. You still have Sauter and Curry working together as teammates on the outside, and Sauter's led most of the laps so far. Majeski was able to get out front at times, but the momentum off the top side out of turn 4 has been strong so far tonight. So I'm probably going to say Sauter to pick up this stage win. That'd be my best guess. I don't see anybody trying to split it out 3 wide here. No, I don't think anybody wants it enough, especially at the front of the field. And there's not enough people formed up further back, and with it only being 1 lap for anybody to charge from outside the top 2-3 rows. Okay, on to turn number 4. All right, and the pace truck's going to pull off. It's going to be 1 lap to go to complete stage number 1 of the Truck Series season. 19 laps complete so far out of this 100-lap event here tonight. And green flag is back in the air. And Sauter gets a good jump, already about a half a truck length clear as they head out of the tri-oval. The top 4 all locked in tandem on the inside and the outside. Man, these guys are just so wobbly. I mean, everybody's dancing around the racetrack right now. Looks like everybody is fighting for handling so hard. And the 98. Oh, man, the 41 got swirly there on a turn 4. Oh, man, some tape just went flying up into the air, and they are fighting a lot harder than I thought they were for this. The 19 splits to the outside. Meanwhile, the 2 niche trucks dive down low. They're going to just take that momentum on the bottom side, and they are going to cruise to victory here on the bottom side in stage 1. Can they form anything up on the outside coming into the tri-oval? No, they won't. And Johnny Sauter going to get this stage 1 victory. Curry in second, Majeski third. Actually, no, Majeski snagged it just at the line, popping out on the 41. Majeski, Curry, Ankrum, Taylor Gray, Brett Holmes, Jack Wood, Christian Eckes, Dean Thompson, and Corey Heim picks up the final stage point. Rhodes, Brightinger, LaJoy, Infinger, Purdy just missing out. And those are big stage points for some of these guys that are running in the full-time championship. And even if you're not full-time, these guys like Holmes and Wood, they will gladly take those stage points, get some extra owner's points so they don't have to worry about racing their way in next weekend. Assuming you might see a few extra trucks appear at Atlanta. Free pass this time will go to Stuart Friesen. Also to mention, I think that Lawless Allen and Keith McGee are both going. Keith McGee might be out of the race, but Lawless Allen, even without a whole front bumper, he's cruising around, like I said. Even if he can't keep in the draft, if they can just stay, within a few laps of the leaders, have some guys crash out towards the end, pick up some points, and increase that paycheck, I'd gladly take that opportunity. But yeah, now Stage 2 is going to start, and with these caution laps here and the pit laps technically being a part of Stage 2. Stage 2, albeit 20 laps, it's really like 15 laps once we factor through these caution laps here. So, even more of a sprint than stage 1. So my key takeaways from the first stage of this race, Nice has got speed, but also I think it's just being at the front of the field, working together. The 45 has done a great job of just controlling and looking comfortable out front. Ty Majeski has also, kind of held the battle to the 45 so far, but he's honestly done that without any teammates even aiding him. So I think Majeski, once you get some other ThorSport trucks at the front, they could really surge ahead. Right now, the next closest teammate is Ben Rhodes in 11th. But keep in mind, some of those guys pitted under the last 2 cautions, and they are not going to have to pit now, and they'll be able to just go to the end of stage number 2 here. So that will cycle Ben Rhodes to the lead, I know. I believe Corey LaJoy as well. And then further down from that, I'm not totally sure. I think Grant Enfinger can also cycle to the lead. But pretty much your top 10 are all going to have to pit. Unless they feel confident they got enough caution laps here to stretch the 30 to 35 lap fuel window to 40 laps. Thanks for everybody watching right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. All right. Okay. We might stream the ARCA race. Let me know, guys, if you want to stream the ARCA race. We'll figure it out. ARCA race is started 10:30 o'clock Eastern time, if you're wondering. I'd love to see the underdogs go at it under the lights at Daytona. Only bummer for them is it's on FS2. Now, I know the sponsors for ARCA aren't, don't totally care probably about that national TV audience because there's not a lot of people watching ARCA anyways, but, it does affect it a little bit. Yeah, Brett Holmes, Jack Wood, they're glad to take a few points, but really I'm looking at those 2 niche trucks at the top of the board, especially the 41, Bailey Curry, trying to be full-time. I think he's seriously a contender for the playoffs. So now we have to see how the pit stops cycle all this up here. I think pit road's going to be open this time by. And I'm looking to see if Keith McGee is out of this race or not. Trying to tell from the delta on the leaderboard. Okay, no, Keith McGee, yeah, he's still going. Just 3 laps down. Oh, it looks like Majeski might. Okay, it looks like a few of these leaders are going to stay out, and they're going to see if they can make it on fuel. I mean, we have run a lot of pace laps behind the pace truck so far. We'll see if these niche trucks can come from the back to the front now. And these drivers completing just gas and go stops. Nobody really changing tires. Oh my goodness, this 33 truck. I'm going to be keeping tabs on the 33 of Lawless Allen. The amount of damage they have on the front of that truck without it having a front bumper, it looks like back in the day in NASCAR when they would have, trucks or cars go behind the wall for a few hours and then get back out on track. They're bradying over Johnny Sauter, Michael Waltrip. Quite the character. Well, Johnny Sauter not picking up the call from the Fox booth. I would imagine that could potentially be by choice. Thanks everybody watching right now. Okay, we'll do an update on some of the underdogs to watch tonight. Actually, no, we're going to have to kind of wait for the leaderboard to reset because pit road messes up the leaderboard somewhat. But some of the drivers I'm trying to keep storylines on. The one of Tony Breidinger doing double duty. I think Tony, obviously, is another female driver in the truck series. We've seen Hailie Deegan come in, who was, really propped up as a, potential stardom, after getting a K&N series win or two. I believe no, she didn't get an ARCA win, but, it was somewhat competitive in ARCA. And then in the trucks, it never really came together. Now she's in the Xfinity series, but I don't think many people are, considering her to, be a world-breaking, earth-shattering, threat at taking it all. Natalie Decker kind of, become a bust at this point, hardly even in the series. So, we'll see. Can Tony Breidinger finally, show the promise and potentially, break out? I'd say statistically in ARCA, she hasn't done much, but in her few truck series starts so far, she's, held the truck together, not been involved in a wreck, stayed on the lead lap, stayed somewhat competitive, gotten top 20, I believe, a top 15 finish. Here at Daytona, she's running in 6th right now. She ran in top 10. She qualified in 13th. She's in a solid truck. I think if she can get a top 5 tonight, that would be really impressive. I think a top 5 would actually, if she gets a 4th, that would break the record for the highest finish by a female driver, which is currently held by Natalie Decker at Daytona a few years ago. Also, okay, now the running order is Majeski, Ankrum, Eckes, Heim, Rhodes, your top 5, then Breidinger, LaJoie, Enfinger, Crafton, Dye, your top 10, then Mills, Caruth, Sanchez, Parsons, Roper, your top 15, then Sauter, Gray, Curry, Massey, and Thompson, your top 20. And Stuart Friesen was your free pass, if I didn't mention that already. That puts your top 30 trucks on the lead lap. Lawless Allen, the lone truck, 1 lap down, and then Keith McGee, 3 laps down. And then Lane Riggs, Jake Garcia, Ty Dillon, and Thad Moffitt all behind the wall. Okay, 75 laps to go in this one. Man, yeah, these caution laps really took up a big chunk of stage 2 already. I think we're going to go green next time by, which will already bring us to 13 laps to go in stage number 2. Okay, your top 3 trucks have not pitted yet. Everybody else is good on fuel to the end of the stage. Yeah, I mean, originally they would have been about 5-6 laps out of their target, but yeah, we've spent more than half the lap so far under the yellow flag. So they might feel confident they've saved enough. Okay, on the inside, it's going to be Ankrum. On the outside, it's going to be Majeski. Pushing Ankrum is the 19 of Eckes. Pushing Majeski is Corey Heim. We'll see if the 2 ThorSport trucks can finally get together at the front of the field. Only thing is right now they're in opposite lanes. Ben Rhodes is third truck on the inside, and then Majeski is on the front outside. I'm still waiting to that final stage when everybody thinks it's go time. See what underdogs are going to push it. Sue's going to be at the front come 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go, and then the final lap. And who's ready to do what it takes to get that win at Daytona. All right. I'd say right now the biggest underdog at the front of the field. Man, there's really not many at the front of the field right now. I'd say Enfinger in the 8th position, Corey Roper in the 15th position. I guess Daniel Dye in 10th. That's somewhat of an underdog. Here we go. Pace truck's going to pull off. Green flag will be back out. 27 laps complete here from Daytona. 13 to go. Outside two trucks really hooked up. Now here come the bottom three. And look at this. Sanchez looking to the outside of Tony Breidinger. And Matt Mills can't decide who's he going to go with, and honestly just kind of stalls the momentum for both of them. And that just destroys all the energy on the outside line. Oh boy, that did not work out for anybody right there. At the front though now, Ankrum, Eckes, and Rhodes all locked up, and they have just rocketed away. All single file. And Majeski, after starting on pole, being in the top two positions pretty much the entire race so far, finishing second in stage one, just like that, has been shuffled outside of the top 10 instantaneously. That strategy of staying out, they're probably regretting it right now, because that track position just bought him a whole lot of nothing. Oh, Matt Mills, that is too late to go up, and he realized that. Okay. Now Corey Heim leads the outside lane, but he is side by side with Mills for 9th position, so they've got a long way to go to get back to the front. And Sanchez is going to pull out from the 8th position on the inside line. Actually, the 7th position, and now he's going to take command of this outside line. We'll see LaJoie looks like he's thinking about going up there. And yeah, they just summed it up perfectly in the broadcast booth. Somebody said, a little bit sideways there, isn't he? And yeah, then Michael Waltrip chirped back, they all look a little sideways to me, and I would totally agree with that. I mean, this is some of the most out of control I've seen the trucks consistently in, my time being a fan. Now this outside starting to move forward a little bit, and LaJoie's going to go up. He's going to go up. He jumps up from 4th place on the inside line. I like that move from LaJoie. He's just in it to win it. And also Sanchez. Oh my gosh, I just got really low out of it right there off of turn 4. And now who's going to jump out to the outside? Rhodes is going to jump out and take command. Interesting move for me right there, because he's going to leave his teammate Matt Craftsman now on the inside line. And now Rhodes is side by side with Ankrum for the lead through turns 3 and 4. And LaJoie does not want to stay behind him for long, it looks like. He's already kind of poking out to the outside. And he is really thinking about it. Sanchez is kind of somewhat of a teammate to LaJoie. I mean, he is a teammate. That Rev Racing truck is ran out of the KBM shop. So him and LaJoie are going to be working together like buddies tonight. Ben Rhodes from the back to the front now, as he leads them down the front straightaway after starting in the rear. Or down the back straightaway. LaJoie, once again, just kind of poking up through 3 and 4, trying to get a little bit of clean air on that nose. Oh boy, Ankrum really out of it there on a turn 4. That's going to give Rhodes the opportunity to slide up ahead into the lead. Now Ankrum gets it back together, and he'll charge forward through the trial. But Rhodes will lead that lap at the line, I believe. Oh, caution's out, and I spoke too soon. 9 to go. Where's this caution? I'm going to go with debris right now. Flat tire. Who's done it? Oh, and that is a Stuart Friesen flat tire there. And the only thing is that caution will save him from going a lap down. And, oh, it looks like the 33 might be finally done for the night. It looks like they tried to hold it around on the front with the front of that truck being torn off as long as they could. Did not quite work out for them. Okay. So, with that caution, that's going to kind of split the stage again, and now we're going to have another dash to the end. I would say we're going to get restarted about 4 laps to go, and there'll be Rhodes out front, then Ankrum, Eckes, LaJoie, Kraft in your top 5, then Sanchez, Dye, Heim, Majeski, and Breidinger your top 10, then Enfinger, Mills, Kruth, Sauter, Roper, Holmes, Curry, Jack Wood, Dean Thompson, Tanner Gray your top 20. And then Stephen Parsons, Chase Purdy, Taylor Gray, Brian Duzot, Timmy Hill, your top 25. And then Robaugh, Boyd, Massey, White, Friesen, your top 30. And who's going to get the free pass? The 27, it looks like. So that'll bring him to, I think, 2 laps down now. So if you're wondering who are some underdogs to cheer for tonight, and I mean underdogs to cheer for tonight, the numbers you want to keep your eye on are the 04, 32 of Brett Holmes, and then the 28 of Duzot. That's really an underdog. They only run the super speedways at all. That's the only races. The 97 of Robaugh, the 76 of Spencer Boyd, and then the 22 of Jason White. I guess the 02 as well I'll throw in. Those are like your mega long shots. Probably is never going to happen again in a million years type of underdogs you'd be cheering for. Let me know in the chat. How you liking the race so far? Let me know. Check on the Fantasy League. Join the NASCAR Fantasy League. Link is pinned in the chat. Okay, if you pit here, there are a few guys hitting it right now. If you pit here, you don't have to. You only have to pit one more time. You'll pit around lap number 70, and then you'll be good to the finish. And I do like that. Smart. I think it's a smart strategy. Mainly, you don't have to pit at the end of stage number 2, and then you'll cycle ahead for the final stage. All right. So right now it's Ankrum and Rhodes running 1-2. Then Eckes, LaJoie, Crafton, Sanchez, Dye, Heim, Majeski, and Enfinger your top 10. I think the first car of the cars that pitted is down in 15th. I think that group is led by Sauter, if my math is correct. Thanks for everybody watching right now. Ankrum, Rhodes, Eckes, LaJoie, Crafton in your top 5. So we're going to get restarted by my math with 5 laps to go in stage number 2 if we get the lights out on the pace truck this time by. Now the finish to stage number 1 was pretty hectic. We'll see if it's staged true here in stage number 2. And okay, we're going to do another pace lap here. So that means we're still not even going to get going until 4 to go in the stage. Yeah, we got to try and keep this clean a little longer. These guys cannot go a few laps without wrecking. We are already an hour and a half in, and we've completed, well, not really an hour and a half because I started earlier than that, but we are an hour into this race almost, and we've completed 35 laps. At this rate, we're going to finish this race around 10:30. Matt Mills going to get a penalty. That'll make him drop to the rear of their field, but at this point, I don't think that's too much of a critical penalty. Definitely something they can come back from. He's impressed so far in this race. Oh, brother. Hopefully we get this green flag out again. Some of these, I don't understand why we had an extra caution lap here. Let's see what people are saying online. Let's see what the thoughts of all these pace laps are. And let's see. Are people hating? No, yeah, nobody knows what's going on. Oh boy, it looks like a shower is potentially on the radar. Hopefully that doesn't get to the track. And yeah, we are seeing a lot of bad comments online about this caution taking way too long, and honestly, I kind of agree with them. It says they're starting to feel some drops in the stands. You know, picking up a tires on 5-lap caution, exactly. I don't understand. It just makes it hard because there's no race to commentate on. Simply cars going around in circles behind a Toyota Tacoma. Or I believe it's a Tundra. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. At this point, I'm just cheering for there to be no wrecks, at least until like the final 5 laps. And that's only if the field is spread up because of having to pit under the green flag. And we got Caruth, Roper, Wood. Those are some underdogs. Yeah, this is going to be like 4 laps to go when we get the green flag again. Hopefully we don't come back, though, to the rain. And the truck's pulling it down pit road. Because that's the thing. Even if this track gets somewhat wet, it takes almost 2 hours to clean off a 2.5-mile racetrack. And that's the big problem. And let's see. Are they coming down pit road or are we on green? Coming back from commercial break right now. Oh, boy. The shot they just showed made me think it was raining. Okay, I think we're going to go. I think they're adding a lap. Oh, my gosh. I think they're adding a lap to try and get them to get to the end of the stage so that way they can call it if rain really does start to come down. Okay, lights off on the pace truck now. They've got 3 laps to get to the end of the stage. Let's see if they don't wreck it here. Got 30 trucks still in this race. Okay, Rhodes on the outside, Ankrum on the inside. LaJoy on the outside pushing Rhodes. Eckes on the inside pushing Ankrum. And then on row number 3, you got Craftsman and Sanchez. Row 4, Dye and Heim. Row 5, Majeski and Enfinger, who currently holds on to the last potential stage point. Roper, Caruth, Purdy, Wood. Parsons, the first driver on the outside, looking in to collect some potential stage points. And as they work their way through into turns 3 and 4, the energy is up. Everybody wants to start their season off with a bang, and with rain being in the area, you never know. The end of this stage could be the end of the race. Yeah, that rain starts to come down. Oh, and the pace truck's going to pull off. They're mentioning the mist on the broadcast now. Here we go. 3 to go in stage number 2. The green flag will be back out. Into the Geico restart zone they go. Ankrum on the inside. Rhodes on the outside. A good restart for Ankrum. He's got a good push coming from Eckes down low. The outside, LaJoy did not get the wheels going, and the inside's going to rocket ahead here. Infinger's going to bail on the outside. He's dropping down low. They got 4 trucks versus 6 right now, and the inside is just surging ahead through turns 1 and 2. The top 3 are now clear on the inside. Craftsman now, though, down low. He has the opportunity to slide up in front of his teammate down the back straightaway. That would hurt the inside line's momentum. Into turns 3 and 4. Now the outside's starting to surge back. They're getting formed up once again. Is Craftsman going to go with his teammate? Oh, man. Dye just keeps getting swirly off of turn 4. I do not trust that truck down the stretch. Into turns 1 and 2. Roper currently holds on to the 10th position, that final stage point. Still the top 3 clear on the inside. Will Craftsman slide up? Yes, he will. That's going to knock out Eckes. Oh, wait, caution's out. And it's caution for rain. Oh, my gosh. This pace truck's going to collect the field. It'll be 1 to go, and then they'll pull him around. They'll end stage 2 under yellow, and then that'll end the race. Oh, boy. This is the end of the stage. Next time by, this could be Ankrum's win here. And this could be another year where rain just shorts us out of potentially a great truck race here. At the same time, though, man, first and second, they just out on the broadcast, have not even pitted for fuel yet in this race. Oh, my gosh. This weather is brutal. And this might be the end here. This really might be the end. Even if they pull it down pit road, unless they don't count them crossing the line there when they pull it down pit road. Sounds like Matt Craftsman's team's confident they might get this race going again. All right. Thanks, everybody watching right now. Right now, though, if it were to end, some drivers that'd be happy with it. I'd imagine, obviously, Ankrum out front. Dye in 5th. Get that first career top 5, I believe. Roper in 11th. That'd be a good result for him. They bring him down pit road, but does this count as a lap? It does complete the lap. That could be it for Ankrum. He could get this win here if they end up having to call it for rain. It sounds like it's a small cell, though. It sounds like it's a small cell, so that could save them. Oh, well, I guess everybody but Ankrum. He's probably fine for it to end right now, but we'll see. Okay, it's time to get the radar out. I hate to do it, but we got to get that weather out. And the rain here. Okay, we're looking Daytona Beach. Okay, it's this weather. It's such a small cell. It's not even showing up on the current radar. Okay, no, it does show a few small little pockets around the track right now, but they'll disperse quickly. Apparently, it looks like in appearance. And oh yeah, that precipitation for tomorrow, though. I mean, it doesn't think it's going to rain much today, obviously. I mean, there's not many hours left in the day at Daytona. But tomorrow, it looks like at least a little bit of rain almost every hour of the day. And then, Sunday looks even worse, actually. Yikes. We might be looking at a President's Day 500, ladies and gents, for better or worse. Truck race now red flagged on lap 41, the first lap of the final stage. Ankrum doesn't sound too confident about this race ending right now. Yeah, I'm looking online, and it looks like people are saying, who's ready for the Monday Night 500? I would agree with that sentiment after now looking at the radar myself, which is a sad thing to have to agree with, but that looks like it might be the case. Oh boy, hopefully this rain delay is shorter than longer. So let's get 3 inches of snow here on the Chesapeake Bay tonight. Oh boy, 3 inches of snow? I would like some of that. I actually think I am going to get some snow tonight. I'm going to look at my own forecast. Let's see. And what is it? I think, is it snowing right now? Oh, it is snowing right now, but it's like not really sticking to the ground where I am. Let's see. And oh wow, oh, we might be able to get an inch or two here of snow actually. I did not know we were going to get that much, but that's fine with me. Man, the snow just can't stick around for long though. It's going to be 50 next week. See, there's nothing worse than it being cold and no snow. I can have the cold if I can get some snow to have fun in, but cold and no snow, worst combination. Hey, thanks for everybody watching right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, I'm going to adjust this. This thing's like literally cutting my face off in the camera entirely. Freedom Motorsports is kind of headquartered in multiple places. Currently quartered in Grove City, Pennsylvania, but home base is Buffalo, New York. So usually more snow than most other people ever see. And I mean, I love the snow, man. I love to ski. I love to get out. I think that's a little better. Yeah, I think that's better in terms of the mic being like in my face. I guess. Yeah, so I just don't want to be like right here. That's where I don't want to be. I want to be like here. Okay. Hey, if you haven't already joined the NASCAR Fantasy League that I just launched today, we haven't done this before, so I'm not really sure how much traction it's going to gain, but appreciate those who try and check it out. Oh my goodness, man. This rain delay, this race. Oh man, we're on pace to finish like after midnight. Hey, let me know, what are your thoughts on the race so far? Yeah, Jimmy Butler, yeah. Yeah, this race isn't it's a joke. Yellow flag, they're going to finish it. I hope not. It's a shame this is how we start the season in the Truck Series. Like, I remember, there's nothing worse than, like, a rain delay where it's just, you felt like you just got robbed of potentially an amazing show. Yes. ARCA is scheduled for tonight at 10:30. I don't really know. Like, I think this truck race will get started again, all things considered. It just might take another hour, and I don't know if I'm going to stay here an hour. We'll see, guys. I have to do other things. But... So I think they'll get the truck race finished tonight, potentially under green flag. Like, they haven't brought the rain covers down or anything. I don't see jet dryers either. So I guess we'll just kind of have to see with the ARCA race what they want. Like, if they're willing to start at 11:30, maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. I think they just want to get it in because they know it's going to rain all day tomorrow. And it's going to rain Sunday, and they don't want to try and get the Xfinity race and the Cup race and an ARCA race all in on, like, Monday or Tuesday. So, yeah, anyway, so the ARCA race currently scheduled for 10:30. I think, honestly, even if we go green in, then, like, 10 minutes... the race is essentially going to have to go green from here to the finish for them to get there. I think the original start time for the ARCA race to all go off without a hitch. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna actually probably wrap this stream up here. And if we get if this thing gets going again, I might hop back on. But if it doesn't get going again, I gotta do homework, other things. I can't just kind of sit here for hours and just hope rain does not come down on Daytona Beach. On the Go with CeeLo, I think that's another streamer that does this. I think he's pretty good. So check him out. If you would still need to be able to listen into the race, that's probably a good resource. Yeah, you're welcome, Nervous Ned. I appreciate the support. It's just... There's nothing worse than a rain delay here. And race like that, real men racing. Yeah, Jamie Butler, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, I really hope we get the rest of this race in. This is just an opportunity for them underdogs to, have a chance to fight. Okay, guys. Well, with that, I'm probably going to sign it off. If we go racing again, check it out. I might hop back on here. We'll see. Hopefully we get all the racing action in this weekend and there's not too many delays. But, man, if only maybe we need to think about the dome, the Daytona Dome, so that way we don't have to worry about rain and only gas fumes. All right, guys.